Hey everyone, welcome to Up All Night DIY. I'm Monica. Thanks for joining me. Today is the 4th Friday Challenge, hosted by Lisa of Our Grey House and Sarah of Jujubee DIY. This month's theme is winter. Let's get into it. My first project is my Stay Cozy Shadowbox. I'll start by painting the interior of this Dollar Tree tray with Ceramcoat Rain Gray. Including the sides. I tape off some stripes with painter's tape. I use a small piece of tape as a spacer between the stripes. And I'll paint in the stripes with Ceramcoat Drizzle Gray. I'll peel up the tape when the paint is nearly dry. With Ceramcoat charcoal, I'll paint the exterior of the tray. I filled in the hole at the top of this cute wee Dollar Tree wood cup with some spackle. And I'll paint the whipped cream with Ceramcoat white, 2 coats. I base coat the cup with Hippo Gray. And I paint 2 coats. With a dowel and Drizzle Gray, I dip dot the mug. Of course, I'm using my favorite, Floating Medium and Drizzle Gray, to shade the whipped cream. I dip my brush into the float and work it into the bristles. I side load by scooping up drizzle onto the corner of my brush. I'll stroke it on my plate to get that gradient of color. With the paint side of my brush at the edge of the whipped cream, I'll follow along the shape, reloading as needed. And I'll add a couple of swoops to make the cream look fluffy. I shade all around the edge of my cup with charcoal. And I'll shade along the inside edge of the handle too. I'll seal both the cup and the tray with clear matte spray. I printed Stay Cozy on some cardstock in Tox Typewriter font, and I scored around them and tore them out to give them a deckled edge. I'll ink the edges slightly using a cosmetic sponge and a black ink pad. I glue my text into place. I give my stay a jaunty wee angle. Why not? Add some whimsy. I did the same to the words Hot Choc 25 cents, and I glued them in the center of the cup. I stacked and glued 3 of the Dollar Tree wood blocks, which I'll glue to the back of the cup. It'll serve as a stand. Then, I glue the cup into the tray. Ta-da! Isn't it cute? DIY number 2, Winter Cottage. I found this piece of scrap wood in my pile. With my chop saw, I beveled the edge and I drilled a couple pilot holes in the top. I'll base the front and sides of the house with rain gray. I based the beveled edge, which will be the roof, with charcoal. And I'll paint the back with charcoal too. These Dollar Tree chalkboard tags will serve as windows. I pulled off the clothespins that were attached, and this wood slat will be the door. I paint the door drizzle gray and give it 2 coats. I also use Drizzle to outline the windows. I'm painting all the windows exactly the same. I dry brush the door edges with charcoal, and I'll dry brush on some lines too, to make it look like the door is made of individual boards. I dry brush the edge of the windows with charcoal as well. I add wee triangle hinges with charcoal, and I'll dip out a doorknob with a brush handle. I dry brush on the front of the house as well as along the edges. This is with charcoal too. This really helps to bring out the texture of the wood. I attach the door and the windows with wood glue and a wee bit of hot glue. I've cut the word winter from white vinyl, which I'll apply vertically next to the door. I'll add these screws to the pilot holes on the roof as little chimneys. Now for a touch of snow on our winter cottage. Just dabbing on some white paint, anywhere a fresh dusting of snow might lay. I think I'll add a snowflake just over the door. And as always, I'll spray seal it. Ah, what a charming little cottage. DIY number 3, Snuggle Up PJs. I picked up this pair of gray knee-high socks at Dollar Tree. These will be our pajamas. I stacked them heel side together and pinned them. I'll add a line of fabric glue along the seam between the pins. This is creating our center seam of our pajamas. This is such an easy project, no sewing required. Now we'll open them up with the socks side by side, and I'll fold over the top of each sock to form the sleeves, and then I'll glue them into place. With baker string, I tie off the feety sections and trim the excess. Just little shoestring bows. Before adding my buttons, I'll thread the holes with baker string, making a crisscross. I'm using some paddle wire to pull the string through the holes, starting in the back of the button. I tie it in a knot to hold it in place, and I'll cut away the excess. I glue the buttons along the center seam. So cute. I've cut a thin dowel to size, and I'll glue the shoulders of my pajamas to the dowel. I'll make a couple of bows by crossing some linen ribbon like this, and I'll tie the center with baker string to form the bow. This is a really quick and easy way to make a cute little bow. No fuss whatsoever. And I'll glue my bows to the shoulders and clip on the clothespins from the last project. They're from the back of those chalkboard tags that I snapped off. As a final touch, I've painted this wood tag, also from Dollar Tree, with charcoal, and I dry brushed the edges with Drizzle. I cut snuggle up with my silhouette. I'll thread some baker string through the hole. I position the tag where I want it, and I'll glue it into place. I tie my string to the dowel. I'll add a dab of glue to keep it from shifting. And we're done. How cute. Adorable and so easy. So sweet. I just love this. Here's a look at all of today's projects. I want to thank Lisa and Sarah for hosting today's challenge. Please be sure to check out their channels. They'll be listed below in the description box, as well as the playlist. You'll find lots of great inspiration on that playlist, full of amazing creators. All supplies will also be listed in the description box as always. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment, and all that good stuff. As we come to the end of the year, I will have one more project before we close out 2021. It'll be up next Friday. I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, and thank you all for watching and for subscribing. I truly appreciate your support. Stay creative, my friends. Thanks for hanging with me. See you next time. Up All Night with Monica.